Hi, I'm Maddie and I live in Reno, Nevada. A little bit about me is I graduated with my Health and Fitness Studies degree and my Sport Management minor. With my Health and Fitness Studies degree, I took classes like biomechanics, kinesiology, upper and lower extremities, nutrition, and exercise physiology. I went on to be a personal trainer at my local YMCA. With my Sport Management minor, I went on to event directing as a race director. Currently, I'm a manager at a local run specialty shop. I do use my biomechanics and previous class knowledge in my daily life as a manager when I take my customers through a gait analysis. When I do a gait analysis, I look at the knee, shin, ankle, and foot alignment, making sure that they're in proper footwear for the way their body moves. Also within Run Specialty, I train my staff on all the shoes and apparel pieces that we have to offer. When shoes come in, or when I'm training my staff about the current shoes, I love geeking out about the different foams, meshes, and shoe technology that's out there. With apparel pieces, I love training my staff about the tiny little specs, such as being able to pack away a piece of apparel, or the keyholes that they have, the stowaway hoods, the zipper garages, the button closures, and the difference between waterproof and water repellent materials. Training my staff on the gear that we have in store is something I really enjoy doing, and I'm glad I can contribute that part to the team. I started running in middle school when I joined the team with one of my friends. Back then, all I cared about were Fridays when we played sharks and minnows in the soccer field and ate popsicles. I really didn't have a care for running in 7th and 8th grade, but I did learn to love it and went on to run in high school. So the main reason why I started running was because of one of my friends. She was a grade older than me, and so then when I went into high school, she also ran on the cross country and track teams, and so I kind of followed in her footsteps. I ran for 4 years on the cross country and track teams. In track, I did the 1 mile, the 2 mile, and the 4x8. My favorite event was the 2 mile, although it was at the end of the meet. What really kept me running in middle school and high school were my friends. I really enjoyed being active and being involved within the school. I created many great friendships through middle school and high school running, but then also created some fun rivalries with some of the runners from other area schools. I did go on to continue running in college, where I ran for 4 years again on the cross country and track teams. College running is such an eye-opener. It's very different. I'll never forget my first indoor track season. I had a specific meet in Iowa where it was a couple of us running in the 5K or the 3,000 meter run. By that time, it was down to me and another girl for first and second place. This girl was like twice my height, and somehow I ended up beating her. I'll also never forget my first double-digit run as a freshman in college. It was me and the other freshman girls, and we were out on our run, and we hit about the little bit over a halfway point, and we all just literally sat down and just really contemplated on if we were going to finish or not, or call somebody to come pick us up. We did end up finishing the run, but it was one of those memorable moments that I'll never forget. What I love about running is it really is my me time. I enjoy lacing up my shoes and just being able to go out and run. I also love the serenity and the feeling it gives me while I'm out running. I'm able to clear my head and just de-stress from anything that's happened either that past week or month or just anything that's going on, and just go run. Knowing that I'm doing my body and my brain good by running is what really keeps me going and keeps me going out the door. My favorite time to run is when the snow is falling and it's just super quiet out, because I'm really the only weirdo that will go out and run in falling snow. But I love it. It's so quiet, and then the sound of crunching snow beneath you is a great sound. Even though it's cold, it's just really peaceful. So besides my me time, I also do enjoy those fun group runs that I look forward to every Saturday morning with my crew. I recently moved to this new state, and the running community here is just as great. They're super welcoming, and they really want to know my story and what I'm about. Same holds true for them. I like learning their running stories and learning all of the running achievements that they've had, and also some of the challenges that they've had in life as well. This running community has really showed me the value of family. While my family is back home in Nebraska, this community truly is my family. What gets me motivated to run is honestly flipping through Instagram and seeing my run happy teammates going out and conquering their runs. We may not all have the same paces, and that's okay, but what I really enjoy seeing is that they're out there doing what they do best. For example, there's a girl that I follow on our team that's in Montana. She is always running in the snow and posting her beautiful snowy pictures. In my brain, I'm like, okay, if she can go out in the snow and it's probably negative degrees there, I can go run outside here when it's 35 degrees and sunny. Another example is a friend that I follow in California. She's out there conquering her trail races, and I love seeing her elevation gains. Again, I can see that she's doing it, so I can do it too. I understand we may not all be on the same fitness level, but really seeing that my fellow run happy teammates are out there running is what gets me up and out the door. I'm also interested to see what shoes and apparel they're wearing out on their runs. Another thing that motivates me is listening to music or a podcast. I have a guilty pleasure of watching Laguna Beach and The Hills, these old MTV series. Right now, there's a Spotify podcast out called Back to the Beach with two people from Laguna Beach, Kristen and Steven. They go back through the podcast and they talk about all the behind the scenes stuff that happened while on this series. Their podcast comes out every Tuesday, so I honestly save up a couple episodes and wait to go run when I want to listen to them. They're about 40 minutes long, so I love just being able to play them and just go run. I don't worry about my distance, I just go for the duration of the podcast. If there's a song out there that I'm just jamming to, I love putting it on repeat for a couple minutes of my run. So listening to a good podcast or some music is what also gets me motivated. 3 pieces of advice I have for new runners are honestly what I tell my customers when they come in the door. The first is interval training. I want people to understand that running is difficult. Everyone's runner's journeys are different, so you can't compare yourself to somebody else's. When I tell people to try interval training, I tell them to run for 1 minute on, 2 minutes of walking, and usually try to do that for about 15 minutes. Once you're feeling good to about a week to 2 weeks of that constant interval training, try to flip it. Do 2 minutes of running and then 1 minute of walking, again for about 15 minutes. Once they feel comfortable doing that, then they can try to run for time. So try to run maybe 5 minutes at a time or even 10 minutes at a time. Once they feel good with that, then start going for your distance. Again, what I recommend for somebody may not be the same for somebody else. So there's always different ways that you can modify the intervals for yourself. Another piece of advice I have is you don't necessarily have to run for distance, such as mileage, or for time, such as duration, but you do have to run as often. But running often is what keeps your muscles going. So while you may have an off day or two, sometimes doing some cross training like either running, biking, or even weightlifting can help also train those muscles. I like to suggest 2 off days per week for a very beginner runner, with hopefully one of those off days being some cross training, and then another off day being a true rest day. For myself, I do have 1 off day a week. The third piece of advice I have for people starting out running is to get proper footwear. I cannot stress this enough. The other day I had a guy come into the store wearing Vans. He says that he wears these on the treadmill while he's at the gym. My face cringed. I'm like, you don't want to do that to yourself. Your poor feet are gonna hate you. Make sure you're in the proper size, because a lot of people feel like a lot of people come in and they're not wearing the proper size. So make sure you're in the proper size, make sure you have a proper fitting sock, and then also obviously make sure you have proper footwear. That's where I come in. Proper footwear makes a huge difference in running. Again, I don't want someone going out for their run and hating it just because they're in improper gear. Correct footwear does make a huge difference in the comfort of your runs. Not only that, but making sure you have proper apparel and proper accessories like socks can also make a difference. What I tell customers when they come in is cotton is rotten. You don't want to be in anything that's not moisture wicking when you're running because it can cause discomfort, chafing, and blisters. Proper footwear does cost money, but that's a good investment. You're keeping your body moving and keeping yourself healthy. So again, my top 3 tips for new runners would be try interval training. Maybe for the first 2 to 4 weeks. Again, try that 1 minute on, 2 minute off, and then reverse it. And then run often. So like I said, you don't have to run for necessarily distance or time, but do run most days of the week if you can. Sometimes 10 minutes is all it takes for you to get out that door. And once you're out for 10 minutes, chances are you'll be out for even longer because you just love it so much. My third tip was proper footwear, and honestly proper gear in general. Proper footwear and proper gear, again, just makes the whole experience that much more enjoyable. Plus it helps if you get a cute new pair of shoes that you just can't wait to wear. I hope you've enjoyed getting to know a little bit about me and also getting some good tips. If you're a new runner, definitely comment below so I can get to know you. And don't forget to hit the like button. Feel free to subscribe if you want to get notifications about new videos. I love putting out my Gear Talk videos where I talk about shoes and apparel. Thanks for watching.